This problem came up the other day, and it's a pretty interesting problem. I worked through it a while, and I actually had to go through and look at some of the coding to see what they're after. And I guess my interpretation of it wasn't right on, so I wanted to help you with this problem when it comes up for you. So this is a culvert. It's basically like a big tube, and you have it's 4.6 feet tall and 8.5 feet wide. So that helps us to come up with this. So I was thinking it was going to be half an ellipse, like from the previous problem. So think of it like this. I'm just drawing an axis system. This is in the water level. And we're at 4.6 feet tall, so that's 4.6. And we're at 8.5 feet wide. So when we're looking for our major minor axes, obviously the major axis is 8.5, so 2A is 8.5. So A must be 4.25. And I'm almost running out of the screen, sorry. And then 2B equals 4.6, so B must be 2.3. So when I come up with our formula, it's going to be x squared, and we can just consider this centered at the origin, over the a squared, so that's going to be over 4.25 squared, plus y squared over the b squared, so that's 2.3 squared. I guess I don't need parentheses, but I'll just put them there because I did earlier, equals 1. So the next part is interpretation, what they're saying. So now we're talking about filling it up to 1.15 feet. So let me just draw another little representation of this. There's our ellipse. So what they're talking about, it's down here where this is 1.15 feet deep. That's at the bottom. So what we're after, and they want to know how wide the stream is at that point. So I'm going to draw my little dashed line here just to indicate that axis system. Maybe change colors a little bit. Go to green water maybe. So what we do know is that the whole height here up to the middle is that 2.3. And so what is this part right here? That's going to be 2.3 minus 1.15. So 2.3 minus 1.15 is 1.15. So whenever it's at 1.15 for the y, what's the corresponding x value? So we would say, let me go back to blue because I like to work in blue. I'll have x squared over 4.25 squared plus y squared over 2.3 squared equals 1. Actually, I should change that y squared to a 1.15. So we're solving for this. So it'd be x squared over 4.25 squared is 1 minus 1.15 squared over 2.3 squared. And I'm just going to save the calculations for the end. Notice that's our target. So we have x squared equals 4.25 squared times 1 minus 1.15 squared over 2.3 squared. So x would be the square root of, excuse me, 4.25 squared. I know I could just take that out of the square root, times 1 minus 1.15 squared over 2.3 squared. Oh, I'm inconsistent with my parentheses use. Okay, that's not an issue. So, and by the way, that'll give us just that width here, and we'll double it to get the actual. So let's see, x would equal, let me get my handy dandy calculator out and put this in. So I have 4.25 squared times 1 minus 1.15 squared divided by 2.3 squared. And for those of you at home saying, well, you could just make that 1/2 squared. You're right, could just make it 1/2 quantity squared and make it a 1/4, but okay, so now I have x is 3.6806, so that's half of it. So if I multiply that by 2, I get 7.36121. 122 if I round to the nearest, where is that, 10,000th place? But all they want is the first two decimals, and it is 7.36 does the trick. Okay, I hope that helps.